Morning.
There it goes. Good morning, Your Honor.
Morning, Mr. Leviton. How are you doing, Judge?
I'm fine. How are you?
Good, good.
Good.
Just gonna give a minute to get everybody
Oh, sure.
connected to
I told
audio.
Mr. Garza, during COVID, I did 800. You've probably done more. I did 800 hearings on Zoom. I'm not used to doing it this way. And I'm sorry about the background. I would have changed. That's the one I used in court when I was, when I was presiding. So,
No problem.
okay.
No problem.
Matter of
We
fact,
got one other Virginia White. Let's see. The screen, David, second fire, if you can unmute. Oh, that, great, way to go. Mr. Conklin, if you can unmute. There's a screen, Donna, if you could unmute. Virginia White, if you can unmute, please. And David, second fire, if you can unmute.
Unmute.
we
You
got
can hear
9
it.
people.
Okay, that's Miss White. Miss White, do you have the video?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. And then, okay, David's fire. We have you. Are you there on the screen? Mark David's fire. David's
I
second
want you to
fire.
mute it. Your second fire. Mute it.
Oh, mute it?
Yes.
You're there.
Okay.
Somebody might have two screens. Sometimes when we have two screens, it causes a feedback.
Turn it.
Oh, okay.
Your phone. Turn it off on your phone. It's saying David Conklin, mute your things, please. Okay.
Okay. Let's do, Mr. Conklin, do you have,
Can you hear what he's saying? Okay.
Nell Thompson, can you unmute?
Turn it off. Okay.
Okay, the screen mark, Donna, can the screen mark, Donna, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, do you have video?
Yes, Judge, I do.
Can you turn it on, please? Okay, and I see David's
How
second,
do you turn it up?
if you can unmute.
How do you turn it up, David? Here, not yours. Okay.
There's a video, like a camera icon,
You see it?
your screen. You click on that, generally that should turn it on.
There, that one right here.
And I haven't heard from Janelle Thompson. Janelle Thompson, can you hear me? There's two screen marks, Janelle Thompson. I can't hear, haven't heard from either one.
I don't know where that
Janelle
can.
Thompson? Okay, one Janelle Thompson dropped out. The remaining Janelle Thompson, can you hear me?
Okay, where's my volume, David?
Janelle Thompson, if you hear me, you need to unmute. It's a microphone icon and it's a blue button in the upper right hand of your screen.
Okay.
You can't, okay, Janelle Thompson saying she can't unmute. Well, have you pressed look at this, the screen that shows your image. And on the right-hand corner, there should be a blue button that says mute or unmute. You press that. If you can hear me, you should be able to unmute. Donna, you haven't gotten video. I'm getting that message. I'm getting the message that the host won't allow it. Won't allow muting? Let me see.
No, I don't know why I don't have video.
Okay, if you can chat,
Do I hit it or what?
email.
Do I hit it or no?
Hang up and come back on. Okay, please do.
He doesn't have me on.
Where's this video?
I know, go ahead and do it then. Hello? I'm on my computer, yes, and I'm pushing the, it has a movie icon, you know, like a, and it's not. No, it doesn't have a line. Not doing anything. I can see him and hear the judge, though. I can hear him. Okay.
Thompson, can you hear me?
Okay.
Talking to Gina.
Okay. All righty. I don't know why
Yeah, Ms. Thompson, you should be able to hear me.
I don't know why it's not- I can't.
I can hear
There you
you.
go. Ms. Thompson, can you hear me?
Yes, I can
Okay,
hear you.
I can hear you. Okay, you're hooked up. Okay, so now the only thing we have is Donna in David's second fire.
No.
Judge, if I may, my client says she can't open her video. Why don't I tell her if she could hear me? You guys can hear me, David. Judge, if you permit, maybe
Wait, can we
she's
do it
got
on
to
the
close
video?
hers and just use David's phone, I guess.
Okay, can I use
There we go.
this?
That's fine.
Okay, I'll just,
Sure,
okay. Okay,
that's fine.
all right, thank you.
You want to close your other one just so sometimes it causes interference if it's close to the,
I gotta leave,
Close the computer.
just leave this one. Leave meeting.
there you go. Okay, so on David's fire, we have Donna Conklin, is that correct? Need to Unmute, Mrs. Conklin.
Yes, Your Honor. That's Donna. That's my client.
Okay, Donna Conklin, and there's a David with her?
Yes, he's her spouse. He's with her, I think.
Okay, so
Yes,
it's
I'm
Donna,
here.
Donna and
B.
David
Conklin.
Conklin.
Yeah.
Okay, Donna and David Conklin, okay. And then we have Ms. Thompson, Ms. Lowe, and then Ms. White. Ms. White, who are you affiliated with?
Donna Conklin,
Okay,
I'm friend and colleague.
okay, so you're gonna be, with-
Judge, I also have two witnesses here with me. This is Janelle Thompson speaking.
okay, are, you will be able to, are they there sitting with you?
They're sitting with me, yes.
Okay, can you identify them?
Vernique Seibert, VERNIQUE. S like Sam, IB like boy, ERT.
Seibert, okay,
And Maria Flores.
okay, so they're gonna be two
Sagrario.
witnesses.
I'm sorry?
They're gonna be your two witnesses.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, can I have everybody, and I don't know if you can widen your screen, Ms. Thompson, everybody to raise their right hand, anybody that's going to offer testimony? There you go. Okay. If everybody would raise their right hand.
You too, David. You have to get in there.
You swear the testimony that you're about to give should be the truth, whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
I
I
do.
do.
I do.
Okay. Okay, Mr. Leviton, if you want to.
Yes, sir. And Your Honor, in the interest of judicial economy, I will not invoke the rule. I think you just complicate things to do that since they're all
Okay.
on one computer. And if I may, it's my understanding from what it looked like on the scheduling memo, it looks like we each have 22 and a half minutes, basically. Is that a correct assumption?
Well, I'd like to, but I mean, if we need to go over, we can go over.
I think I can keep mine in that range, depending on cross-examination. What I'd like to do with the court's permission, I prepared an opening statement that I think gives a pretty fair overview of the case from my client's perspective. That'll narrow her testimony. And I think it'll give you a pretty good roadmap. And with your permission, I'd like to, and I usually don't write them down, but in this case, we were limited on time. So I thought, well, I would address the court with a written opening statement with the court's permission.
That'll be fine. Please go ahead.
Thank you. That's the snails. Your Honor, my client was running an estate sale of her father and stepmother's considerable personal property. The defendant came to the sale and purchased some of the items. She approached my client about the possibility of she and her husband assisting with the liquidation of the estate as they had expertise in this area. The parties agreed that my client would receive 40% of all sales made by the defendant. On February the 10th of 2019, the defendant removed a large number of items and took them to her home, ostensibly for the purpose of selling them to third parties. It took a U-Haul, a pickup truck, 2 cars, and a 17-foot covered trailer to transport the items they selected. I say they selected because the defendant and her husband were allowed to take whatever items they liked, thus giving them the opportunity to cherry pick the best of the estate. The goal was for the defendant to try to sell everything she took within 8 weeks, which would have been around mid-April of 2019. Included in the lot taken by the defendant was an antique desk, 2 matching chairs, and a bust or statue of Nefertiti, all of which the defendant had agreed to pay my client the sum of $1,700 in what I'll refer to as a side deal herein. In other words, this was not part of the 40% consignment deal. This was $1,700 to my client for these items. This all occurred on or about February 10 of 2019, almost 2.5 years ago, although I think that the Nefertiti, the side deal, was a little bit after that. It was close to it. As of November the 20th of 2019, my client had not received any payments whatsoever for the $1,700 side deal, nor had she received any payments related to the other property the defendant was to sell on a consignment basis. My client made several requests for payments during the relevant time period. To this day, she has not received 1 red cent from the defendant. Finally, my client asked for the property's return at least twice, the first time on February 13 of 2020, and again on December 29 of 2020. At this point, the defendant had retained exclusive possession and control of my client's property for almost 2 years, and she refused to return the items in her possession, including the desk, chairs, and statue, the side deal, and also had not made any payments with respect to any of the property. Not only did the defendant tacitly refuse to return any of the property in response to my client's demands for her to do so, she also affirmatively refused to do so via text messages to my client on October 11, 2019 and October 22, 2020, when the defendant stated that she, quote, wanted to keep all of the property and put it on the marketplace, close quote. Finally, after well over 2 years of 0 payments to my client and the defendant's steadfast refusal to return any of the property, I made a formal demand for its return on July the 8th. That would be this month. That same day, the defendant responded and advised me that my client could pick the property up, except for the side deal property, the desk, 2 chairs, and Nefertiti statue, explaining that they had already been incorporated into their home furnishings. Finally, she promised to pay the $1,700 she had owed my client for almost 2.5 years for the side deal, and that she would do so on or before July 17th. Not surprisingly, July 17th, and again, this is this month, came and went, and still no payment was made for the side deal or any of the other property converted by the defendant. On July the 18th, at a cost to her of approximately $1,000, my client and helpers went to the defendant's home to retrieve the property. As a side note, Your Honor, we're not asking for reimbursement of the $1,000 because I did not amend my pleadings to ask for consequential damages. I almost finished. Although property was returned to my client on July the 18th, by return, my client went to pick it up, there were a couple of problems. First, the side deal property was not returned. And remarkably, and frankly, unbelievably, the defendant told my client that the side deal property had been sold to a third party just a few days beforehand for $1,700. So now, instead of paying the agreed upon $1,700 for the property, she was offering to pay my client 40% of $1,700. And forgive the argument, but that gives her the chutzpah award for this case, because she had just told me a few days ago she had it in her house. Second, much of the remaining property has sustained significant damage while in the possession of the defendant, and there were other items that were not returned. My client's estimate of the total value of the property was north of $30,000. However, Today, she is asking for only $6,000. Since she did get most of the property back, even though most of it is no longer in marketable condition, and also because she recognizes that the $30,000 plus estimate of value would be a best case scenario, especially given the fact that she would have only received 40% or $12,000 had the defendant performed under the terms of their agreement. The $6,000 she's asking for represents diminution in value and includes the agreed upon $1,700 for the side deal. So really, she's asking for $4,300 for diminution in value of the property that was returned, plus $1,700 for the side deal for $6,000. She's also asking for court costs and post-judgment interest at the statutory rate. And I'll close by noting that there is an implied duty of good faith and fair dealing with respect to all contracts. And we believe that the evidence will show that Ms. Thompson fell far short with respect to these duties, in addition to just garden variety breach of contract. Judge, in order to simplify things as well, we're going to abandon our claim for conversion and for fraud, even though I think we could prove both of them. We want to bring this matter to a conclusion today. If the case proceeds further, we will reinstate those. And also, I'm going to my client is going to abandon any claim for attorney's fees and for prejudgment interest. So we're only asking for post-judgment interest, court costs, and $6,000. That concludes my opening statement. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Leverton. Mrs. Thompson, would you like to make a brief opening statement?
Yes, I would. Thank you. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. In February 2019, Donna Conklin approached me to let me know that she had various African items for sale at her father's house. After looking at the items available, we agreed to purchase various Egyptian-themed items. At this time, she mentioned that she wanted to move the other African items, but she was unsure as to how or where in order to get a good price. She asked me if I thought my family and I would be able to find buyers for the items in question. At that time, we told her it was possible, but that we would need to know the actual value of the items. She told us that she had catalogs and receipts for all of the items and that she would get them to us so that we could price them appropriately with depreciation. She was also told at that time that many of the items were trinkets and it was unclear as to if we'd be able to sell them individually. At best, they might be able to be sold as groups. However, until we have the catalogs and receipts, we would not know. Before leaving with the items, we agreed to give her 30% of what the items sold for. And we made it very clear that the prices that would be listed on the receipts and catalogs were for new items. And then in pricing them currently, they would have to be priced as used items. There was absolutely no way we'd be able to get the same price for selling the items. Multiple requests were made to Donna to provide the receipts and catalogs in order to price the items. The furniture and trinkets had already been photographed and were ready to sell. We were only given a few receipts in an approximately 4-inch by 9-inch envelope and a few catalogs. And only one of the catalogs we were given had any of the items in them. We also made attempts to find the items ourselves online to no avail. And we also made requests from people we knew who were familiar with antiques. We were told that the items were trinkets and did not have much value. More attempts were made to get the receipts and catalogs from Donna, and they were not provided. And each time I asked, I was told she was working on it. Time passed, and through text, Donna increased the percentage she wanted to be paid from 30% to 40%, which we agreed to. However, the percentage was still based on the profit from selling the items. In 2020, she told me that she had cashed out part of her retirement plan to pay for the air conditioning installation at her father's home in the amount of $8,000. It was at this time that she started saying that the value of the African items was $8,000. At no time before this was there a value placed on the items because, again, there was no documentation given. Coincidentally, $8,000 is 40% of the $20,000 she was initially claiming the items were valued at. On multiple occasions, I made attempts to speak with her in person about getting this handled, and I gave her the okay to come pick up the items in question. She opted not to do either of those things. On July 18th, 2021, Donna brought a crew to my home and picked up the items that were still in our possession, unable to have been sold. I'm countersuing for storage costs of the items in the amount of $500 a month, totaling $14,500 for the 2 years and 5 months the items have been stored in my home. Thank you.
Your Honor, this is probably, just so you'll know, I will object to that. It's not supported by her pleadings.
Counterclaim? All right, Mr. Leverton, are you referring to the counterclaim or last?
Yes, yes, Your Honor, yes. I don't think it's supported by the pleadings. At least I don't have a counterclaim. Maybe there is one.
I'm just looking to see. um, Did you send a copy?
It
of this
was
counterclaim?
filed and I sent certified copies of the counterclaim to Donna's address.
Certified copies? What do you mean certified copies?
I was told by Benjamin Garza, I spoke with him on the phone, and he said that he had received the filing, but that I had to send her a certified copy also so that she would have it. So in
Yeah,
the,
all right, so-
You sent it by certified mail? Is that what you're saying?
yes, certified
All right,
mail.
based
So
on
there's
her
a filing online on eFile Texas. That is there, but then I was also told that I had to send her a certified copy of the filing as well.
Your Honor, I'll tell you what, based on her representation to the court, I guess I'll allow her, I won't object to her asking for storage fees for this property
Yeah.
that she kept for over 2 years.
There was a, one second, let me see, bring this up. There was a counterclaim filed on July 21st. This is what was filed. This is the 21st. You should have received it by now. But anyhow, let's just proceed.
Yeah, that's fine with me, Your Honor. I don't object.
Mr. Leverton, if you want to call your first witness.
I call my client, Donna B. Canavan Conklin.
Okay, Ms. Constance, go ahead.
Thank you. Would you please introduce yourself to the court?
My name is Donna B. Canavan Conklin.
You're the plaintiff in this case, correct?
That's correct.
Now, is everything I told the judge in my opening statement, was all of that true and correct?
It was 100% true.
All right. Attached to the amended petition is an unmarked exhibit entitled inventory. What is that?
It was an inventory list that we made of the items that Janelle had taken from the home of her choosing. And we have one here too as well.
Very well. And the values there, are those your best kind of lay estimate of the values of the individual properties in a perfect world?
Yes. We also looked at the items on eBay, but the original $20,000 estimate of the items came from Janelle, and that is in the text message. And so 40% of that 20,000 would be the 8,000. She gave me that what she thought the items were worth. That's in the text messages.
Very well. Judge, I offer the inventory into evidence.
I'm looking for, you says attached to your petition. I've seen it, but I don't know. Oh, maybe the amended petition. Hold on, let me check.
It's the amended petition. Yes, sir.
Okay. Let me, again, I'm gonna share this so that we're sure we got the same.
Okay. Oops.
I can enlarge it.
Yeah.
It's before that.
These are
It's probably gonna be at the very top, Your Honor.
Huh. Why can't I get to the top?
You won't scroll. There you go. I bet you got it. No. There we go.
That's where it's
Well.
9 of 20, but then there we go. Wait, let's see, maybe I can go this. There we go.
There it is. That's it.
Okay.
Okay. Very well.
Okay.
All right. And so it is offered into evidence at this time, Your Honor.
Mrs. I'm sorry, Ms. Thompson, any objections?
To her inventory,
The introduction of this.
I have an
document.
objection to the prices.
What's your objection?
My objection is that we asked her for over 2 years to get us the catalogs and the prices via receipts, and she refused to do so and said she was unable to do so. And then when she filed the lawsuit, all of a sudden she had this inventory with these prices that she claims that she found online that she was not
Okay,
able to do before she filed this lawsuit.
You can testify to that, but I'm going to allow the introduction. So admitted. Go
Okay.
ahead.
Thank you, Your Honor. Okay. Now, attached to the amended petition is Exhibit A. What is that? Ms. Canavan?
I'm looking. Those are text messages.
Okay, now, it looks like there are a series of text messages between you and the defendant from February 7, 2019 to December 29, 2020. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Now, I know that there was a couple of texts after December 29. These are the only ones we had when we filed the amended petition. But are these all of the text messages from
Those-
December
those are
29,
everyone.
2020? Hang on, let me ask first. The judge, you can't hear us both talking the same. Is all the text messages except for a couple that came in after December 29?
Yes,
All right. Now, they all came from your cell phone account?
yes,
Have any of them been altered in any way?
no,
Have you added anything or taken anything out?
no,
Okay, it's just between you and Ms. Thompson, correct?
that's correct.
Your Honor, offer Exhibit A.
Mrs. Thompson, any objection to the text messages? Mrs.
No
Thompson,
objection.
so admitted.
Ms. Kevin, briefly, and with emphasis on briefly, would you please tell the judge why we're here today? I know you've already said that everything I told him was true, but I want you to tell him a few things in your own words.
Okay, so the reason we are here today is I did tell Janelle that I had some things for sale that belonged to my dad and stepmother, and she came to the house and she saw some Egyptian things that she purchased that day. My husband delivered those things to her house that day. She returned 2 days later and said, I told her that we already were going to have an estate sale. And if there was any items she felt, especially the African items, that she could get rid of. And she said, yes. So not only did she take the African items, she also took Asian tables and a 10-piece Asian bedroom set and some other items that Nefertiti as well, that was an Egyptian.
And those
That's in
items are on your,
addition to all of the African things. We're here
those
today
items are on your-
because, okay,
that's okay. Those items are on your inventory, correct?
okay.
Now, yes,
She said that I gave her 6 to 8 weeks, 8 weeks being the maximum that she would be able to sell. In regard to the catalogs, my sister had all the catalogs and receipts. We gave her everything we found. There's just no way that I would have guaranteed receipts on all these items. They weren't mine, they were my parents. And we gave her every single thing that we found. In regard to that, she did send me a text message on saying that she believed the items to be worth $20,000. That was in her own words on the text messages.
Objection.
So that's where the $8,000 came from.
Just Ms.
Objection.
Thompson, what is your objection, Ms. Thompson? What is
I
your-
want to know where in the text message I stated that these things were
Now,
worth
You can ask
$20,000.
that. You can ask that in a minute when you get a chance. I'm sorry,
Okay,
Mrs. Conklin.
okay, Ms. Conklin, let me ask you this. Everything that's on that list, that's what Ms. Thompson took, correct? With the assistance of your husband and his 17-foot trailer, correct?
That's correct. Now, when we got the items back, there was additional items that we did not record. There was additional items.
Well, I'm going
That
to
we
get to that.
didn't.
Hang on just, okay. There were additional items. They're not on that list. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. Can you tell the judge briefly what those items are?
Well, there was many more statues. We thought there was 12. There was many more. There was, I think, in her own accord, she said there was 47 statues.
Okay, the
And
condition
so-
of the property she took to sell on your behalf, what kind of condition was it in when she took it?
Well, it was in great condition. I mean, it was sellable. And the way that it was returned was absolutely not saleable. One of the dressers is missing a complete drawer, much less they're broken, chipped. I don't know what happened to the property, but it was returned in a scandalously, demeaned condition. Things were broken and missing, and I have photos of that. I also have photos of how the things looked before we took them. She
Right, they're
took
on the
them from my
exhibit. Yeah,
house.
there's some of that's on the exhibit. So during this almost 2.5 year period, did you ask for the property's return?
Yes, on via text message, I did ask for the property be returned. And on several occasions, she did say that they were going to keep everything and sell it on Marketplace.
Okay. Now, do you have the property now? Do you have any of the property back now?
I do have some of the property back, yes,
That's what you
damaged.
picked up on July 18th, right?
That's correct.
Okay, what was, but the side deal property, that she kept that. Well, we don't know, do we? What happened to the side deal property? Correct?
She said she had sold it and provided a receipt, I guess, to you 4 days prior to me picking up I guess it was on the 14th, and I picked up the items on the 18th. She said she had
Okay, well,
sold them after
Excuse me,
she numerously
my
times
feed
via
dropped
text.
out about a minute ago, so I didn't hear anything that was happening.
well,
I lost about the last minute that you all were talking.
okay, essentially, ma'am, she just testified. Oh, Judge, I'm sorry. I'll let you handle that. You're on mute, Judge.
Go ahead, you can summarize it. Go ahead.
Well, essentially, she said that that she did ask for the property back at least twice. I think she said that, but no, she did say that she asked for the property back. And Ms. Canterman, what was did she ever give you the property back until I wrote her about a month, well, less than a month ago?
No, nothing. Nor did she pay for the items that she wanted to keep
Okay.
for herself.
And there was about a 5-day gap, I think, I don't know exactly what it was, between the time she told me she was keeping the side deal property, this is after 2.5 years, and then her telling you that she had sold it and wanted to pay you 40% of the 1,700 instead of the 1,700, right? About a 5-day gap, I think, more or less over it. And this is at the end of a 2.5-year period, correct?
Yes, that's what happened.
Okay. And she hasn't paid anything for any property, correct? Sorry for the leading, Judge. Nothing.
Nothing,
She hadn't paid you a dime, correct?
not one dime.
Okay. And the estimate of value back then, that's without the 40%, without any of that, you estimated it was around $35,000, correct?
Well, just via email, via eBay, I looked at the items and they were just comps. Yes, and I have photos and comps here. Yes.
Okay, because she said at some point about having a bunch of junk. This wasn't junk, was it?
No, it wasn't. In fact, at one point I said, then give me all my junk back. That's in the text messages.
Right.
And she replied that she was keeping them. She said, don't put words in my mouth. That's what she said on the text messages. And that she stated then she was keeping the items.
I passed the witness.
Okay, just 1 minute, Mr. Leverton. I was just, I was muted. I was looking for the exhibits on this, when they're scanned in, they're difficult to read, the text messages. Did you email them in or did you e-file them?
I did, Judge, as you know, I took a sabbatical from being a trial court lawyer for about 20 years, and I did not have an e-file account. So I did attach them to an email and sent them to Mr. Garza. I didn't know quite how to get it.
That's what I thought, because I had seen them and they were all legible. And that's why I had Ben is just looking for them, that email, so I could bring them up on the screen where they're very legible. But let me just, Ben, any luck in locating them?
Just, I'm still looking for them.
Mr.
Mr. Garza,
Leverton, do you have an email?
They were
You could-
actually-
Could you just refresh the email?
I have it right here.
And Mr. Garza, just so you know, it was attached to an email. It's attached to the first amended original petition. That's where if you find the amended petition, you found the exhibits because they're attached to it.
But, Mr. Leverton, do you have that
Yes, Your Honor.
email? Do you have that?
I'm sure I do somewhere.
Oh, okay. I was just thinking if you could just email it again, I could bring it up right now. Just on, I can give you another email just to forward it to.
Well, what you pulled up earlier was what you did on the shared screen. That was it.
Well, I understand, but what I was looking at is, I'm going to pull it up again. 1 second. Is that, and I'll share it. It was it, but when it's scanned, these aren't legible, you know, it's
Yeah. Okay.
blacked out, and that's.
Yeah, I got you. Okay. Well, that's on me. I
No,
apologize.
no, that's when they're scanned, that's what happens when it's scanned. I think if we have your email, we could ledge them, because I recall seeing them. I reviewed this case before and I recall seeing them. So if you have your email, if you could just refresh the email to us, we could get those.
Right. Let me see if I can find it. It may be in Donna's, it could be in Donna's account. Let me see real quick. Hang on, just a second. Let me do one thing.
Are they looking for where she said it was worth 20,000? Reed, are you looking where Janelle said it is worth 20,000? It was on May 22nd of 2019.
No. We're looking for my email. And unfortunately,
Okay.
it's in Hotmail. It got buried, I think. You got it too. If you could forward it with I know that's ex parte, Judge. If you all could find it in your
Yep.
email account, Donna, and send it to the judge.
Yeah,
Forward
that's
it to the
fine.
judge. Forward it to Mr. Garza.
Forward it, the emails. The emails, Reed?
No,
Well, the-
what I
the
want
text.
is the email when I filed the original amended petition. It'll be one of the first emails I sent.
Okay,
And that's-
David's looking at it right now.
What's
Yeah.
happened, Judge? I've got Hotmail. It's buried. I can't find it. And
Okay. Ms.
I'm sorry.
Conklin?
Yes,
If you can
sir.
find it, let me give you an email to email it to, and I can get it up on the screen immediately. Email
Okay, here,
is,
write
if
it down.
you can write this down.
Okay, just a
Come on,
second.
try.
Come
I don't think I
on.
can find it. It'll be one of the first. What's the date of the?
Okay, what is it, Judge?
JP1, just the letters J.
JP1?
Yeah, the letters J, P, and then the numeral 1. El Paso County, spelt out, El Paso spelt out, @gmail.com. So it's JP1 El Paso County @gmail.com.
At gmail.com.
Yes, and if you could email that.
It
I
would
can
have
bring it
been, it would have been around March 24th of 2021. That's the date you're looking for.
March
Sorry about
24th,
that.
2021.
No problem.
Okay, he's going through it, looking at it. But I also have, well, I have the emails from the date where she valued the items.
Okay.
I have
text.
the text messages.
Okay, well, let's just see if we can find it on email, because that way that'll be all.
Okay,
Failing that, we may try that.
yes, Judge.
Okay.
March the what?
March the 22nd, sometime around then.
Yeah, I'm still trying to go back.
Okay.
What does that say? Reed
Mr.
Leverton?
Leverton,
March the 22nd.
you had no further questions,
Around
correct?
there.
Okay, Judge, I passed the witness.
Okay. Mrs.
Sorry, I'm
Thompson,
looking.
do you have any questions of Ms. Conklin?
Yes, I do.
Go ahead.
One moment, please.
Look under sent. Is that what you're gonna do?
Okay, Ms. Conklin, in the inventory that you gave me, did you include any pictures of the items that you claim that we have?
I included those to the court, though. What do you mean? The inventory I gave you? I have them here. I mean,
If
do
you
you-
can
what do
hear
you
me,
mean?
the phone is breaking up again.
Go ahead, ask the
I
question.
didn't,
Ms. Thompson, your screen is frozen. You have two screens again. Ms. Thompson, are you there?
are you able to hear me? Are
Yes,
you able to hear me? Okay.
yes, I can hear you.
Okay.
I think it might improve if you close the other
It's
screen.
Shutting off on me, I apologize. Okay, but you can hear me now, okay, correct?
Yes.
Okay, I did not hear her response to my question.
I don't think she had, will you ask your question again, please?
Yes, in the inventory, the written inventory that she provided, did she at any time provide a pictorial inventory of the items she said I took?
Judge, we did.
To the judge, we did, yes. There was pictures on the stuff that we filed, yes.
For all of the items that you're claiming that I took?
Well, yes, most of them, we had pictures because we had video of all the items. In fact, I have them right here in front of me.
Do you have
Those are all the
individual
pictures of the
items
things that you took, this
via
stack,
picture
yes.
that were ever submitted that you're claiming that I have?
Yeah,
Yeah,
we submitted that, yes, when we filed the lawsuit.
I do not have any pictures, Judge, that were submitted for the items that she's claiming that I had.
Okay, just to be clear, Ms. Conklin.
We submitted those to the court.
amended petition, there's pictures, is that what you're saying?
Yes,
Yes, we
Yes.
submitted them.
we
Okay.
submitted them.
Okay, if you can find that email and you send that, then that should be attached to that, correct?
Okay.
Okay, go ahead, Ms. Thompson.
Okay. I've been asking you for years to give me the value of the items that you gave me because you did not provide receipts or catalogs. When the
Ms.
lawsuit was filed, you gave
Ms.
me
Thompson,
this
Ms.
inventory
Ms. Thompson,
with the
do
value.
you have any questions? Questions of Mrs. Conklin?
Yes,
Is this a question?
this is a question. Yes.
Okay, well, let's get to the question.
How did you arrive at these values for the items that you're saying that I have?
Well, the receipts that we were in possession of, we gave you everything we had, plus the day that you took the items, there were catalogs that you took with you, and some of the items were in those catalogs. I never pretended to have every single receipt on every item. They weren't mine, they were my parents. But I gave you everything that my sister and I found.
On the comps on eBay.
And I found the
Did you
comps for
claim
the
that you
items
did
on
not tell
eBay.
me that you had the receipts and catalogs for most of the items that you were giving to me?
No, I said whatever we found, we would absolutely turn over to you, and that's exactly what we did.
Okay.
In fact-
that's not true.
It is true.
No comment, just ask the question, answer the question, and then just, let's not have any other comments.
Okay.
Ms. Thompson, do
Okay, my apologies, Judge.
What's email out? I don't know what.
So how did you value these items that are now on the inventory?
Okay, well, I first valued them because you sent me a text on March 22nd of 2019 that says, however, collectively, they would be worth 20,000. Here's the email. Here's the text you sent me. And you said pricing them started late because we found most of the stuff, catalog receipts, we were banking on those. I found the comps on eBay, most of them. That's where I found most of the comps for the things. I looked on eBay.
What date is that? Are you saying on that text?
That text was on May 22nd of 2019, because that's when I should have received some kind of payment. And it was
Ms.
at
Conklin, Ms. Conklin,
10:10 in the
just
morning.
answer the question and then let's go on. She just asked
Okay,
the date of the text, nothing else.
okay, May 22nd, 2019 at 10:10 a.m.
Ms. Thompson?
Okay, I'm looking at that text. Is it not true that we had a conversation in person in the locker room at El Paso Day Surgery where you told me that these items were valued at $20,000?
No, I said, I just repeated what you put in the text message. I didn't value the items, you did. And it's here in the text messages on that date.
Is it your contention that before that date, we did not have a conversation in the locker room where you were telling me that these items were worth $20,000?
I was repeating the text message you had sent me on May 22nd. You valued at 20,000.
Judge, I apologize for getting on the phone. Just called Dave. I found it. I didn't have your address. I forwarded it to him. He's going to turn around and forward it to you. Okay.
Okay.
Great, thank you.
Thank-
Here it is.
Sorry about that.
JP1 El Paso County at gmail.com.
Okay.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Go ahead, Ms. Thompson, your next question.
Yes, Your Honor. I'm going through these text messages myself. I apologize. Okay, so when did you value these items?
When did I look up on eBay the items? Is that what you're asking?
When did you value the items?
I guess on the in about December of 2020. And when it had
And
been
this
almost
is-
2 years. Yeah.
So almost 2 years after I initially asked you for the value of these items.
Oh,
which you
no,
said
I
you did
valued
not
my
have.
personal. I didn't value, I gave you all the receipts in February of 2019 that I had. So you said you were gonna put
After
them on
February
Marketplace and you were
2019,
going to
did I
eBay.
continue to
Ms.
ask
Thompson,
you for
Ms.
more
Thompson,
receipts?
I can't hear both of you at the same time, so let her finish and then you ask the question.
Okay,
So I gave her the receipts in February, everything that we found, we turned over. And then after 2 years, that's when I did the value of on eBay, my own price. But she, on May of 2019,
Ms. Conklin,
she
just
told me
answer the
that the
question.
value was 20.
Yes, okay, just answer the question. We don't need the
Okay.
information. Just answer the
I
question.
looked up on eBay in December of 20.
Ms. Conklin, did I ask you after May of 2019, after I told you we did not have the receipts and catalogs that you said you were going to give us, for more receipts and catalogs?
No, no, that's not correct. After February, I told you we had given you everything we
Okay,
found.
Ms. Conklin, you answered the question. Now let her ask another.
No,
So after you valued them from eBay and various websites online recently, when did you deliver those values to me?
I gave the values to the court. You had already given me the initial value.
When did you deliver those values to me through the court?
I filed them with the court.
The court has to
The
give,
court gives it to you. I mean, I don't understand what she's asking.
Your Honor, I can answer that.
Yes, I don't understand what she's asking.
Stop. The amended petition was sent to Ms. Thompson on March 24th, 2021, via certified mail return receipt requested. But if she got it on eBay, Ms. Thompson was certainly capable of doing it herself. So we're getting down into the weeds here, I think.
Okay. Ms. Thompson, next question.
Next question is, on multiple occasions, did I tell you that you could come and pick up the materials and you denied wanting to do that?
No, but I have a text right here that I did offer to pick them up and you said, no, we're keeping everything and we're putting it on Marketplace. That was your
Did
response.
you deny my opportunity for you to come and pick up the items before at any
Ms.
time?
Ms. Thompson, if you
No.
please identify on such date did I offer the items? You know, let's
Right.
let's just
I didn't hear you, Judge, I'm sorry.
narrow down the scope of your question. If you say numerous times, just say on January 4th, did I offer you to pick up the items? On such date, did I offer this? Just, you know, let's get down to specifics.
Okay, thank you. Okay, on October 17, 2020, I'd like to reference a message that I sent
Okay,
where I said the problem with that is that you don't have the pricing on the things we want to keep. So we still have nothing to base this off of. We're going to put everything on the African marketplace and they're still going to take a cut to list it.
okay, I'm
I
sorry,
think
that
it's
was
best if
October
we just
20.
speak in person the next time we're both at EPDS, which is El Paso Day Surgery, so that we're both on the same page. Do you
Okay, can
remember
you
getting that
That
text?
was, I'm sorry.
What is
October 17,
Thompson?
2020.
What is the question?
I asked her if she remembers getting that text.
The date of the text is October
17, 2020.
17th, 2020.
Yes, so I found that, yes, you did say, yes, the problem with that, yes, you did say that. You sent, and my
And did you
response
take me
was,
up on my offer
Donna,
that we could
wait,
speak in
Wait,
person?
Your Honor,
Yes.
we got an optional completeness here, problem here, if I may. Ms. Thompson read one of her texts of 1017, but then a couple of days later, she read another one. It's one sentence, if I may read it to the court.
Sure.
This is regarding the property. Quote, "We're keeping everything and putting it up on the marketplace." That was Ms. Thompson to my client on October 22 of 2020. So
Wait.
Thank you.
I would appreciate the best thing for both sides. Mr. Levitin is that gentleman able to, because if I could just get it
did
on,
you send it?
here we go. Oh, I got
He
it.
sent it.
Okay. Let me just pull this up because that takes a lot of the confusion out of what's what. Let's see here.
Right. And for what it's worth, Judge, there are a lot of pictures. So if you deliberate in this case, it takes about 4 or 5 minutes to read the whole thing, just so you'll know.
Okay.
I think you'll get a pretty good picture of what's going on.
I'm going to bring this up on the screen and then we can just reference whatever email or text you're referring to. Then we don't have the back and forth. Okay. So this should have the text. Here we go. That, can you all see that? Okay.
Yes,
October 17th, you did mention the desk. Is this the text you're talking about?
No, the one right below that, where it says, I think it's best if we just speak in person the next time we're both at El Paso Day Surgery so that we're both on the same page.
That's not what you there.
Yes, scroll down. Okay, so it's the last sentence of my text to her.
What's the date? Just tell me the
It's
October
10/17.
10/17.
Yes,
Okay, it's
Judge.
10/17.
Yeah, just go down to the bottom. There it is.
Okay, okay, go
Okay.
ahead.
So my question to Ms. Conklin, did you take me up on my offer where we could sit down at El Paso Day Surgery and talk about the items?
You never approached me at El Paso Day, or I would have been happy to do that.
Did you take me up on my offer? Did you respond to that in any way?
Yes, I did. I respond. You did mention the desk and Aphrodite you wanted to keep. We already discussed the price. Can you get rid of the furniture, bedroom, yes. And I said, just give me a list of the things you wanted to keep. That was my response to that text. I'm
Did
begging you.
respond to me wanting
please
to
give me
speak
a
to
list
you
of
in
the things you wanted to
person?
Just a minute, one at a time, please.
Okay.
Did you respond to me
Miss-
wanting to speak to you in person so that we could hash it out in person?
Objection.
Yes.
Asked and answered. Asked and answered.
Yes, sustain the objection. Go ahead, Mrs. Thompson.
Okay, further up on. Same date, October 22nd. She's now asking me, how much do I think the rest is worth?
Objection to form, Your Honor. There's no question.
Okay.
My
yeah, what
question is, how are you saying that I told you what it was worth before, if now you're asking me at this point what I think the rest is worth?
You did, I'll show you where you said, okay. You told me it was worth 20.
What's the date?
on-
Let's get that out of the way. What's the
Okay,
date?
let's do that.
Judge, I'll object to relevance. We've got two different views of value here. And
I just want to establish that there
Well,
was,
she didn't,
there was testimony earlier that Ms. Thompson told her what the value was, and I didn't clear that up.
yes, she did.
Just give me the date, please.
Do you see it on the text messages? It was in March, I think, of 19. March of 19. Yeah. I'm looking for it. March. He's going through it right here. I'm sorry. Yeah. On the 18th. Yes, it is.
March of 2018 or 2019?
No, 2019. She said we would be lucky if it was valued at 20,000. Here it is.
The date, please?
Was she refer, okay, the date was,
Is it a text?
yes, February 13th.
February
And
13th.
then,
Yeah.
yes,
February 13th. I don't see anything February 13th.
we can set the valuation at 20,000 if we can document. She said, we can owe you 8,000 if they were trying to sell it from a curator. And then it says right here,
These are text
these are text.
and but they're not here, or?
No, they're there.
what page is it on? Donna, what page is it on for the
Okay,
judge?
it's on page 4 on
Thank
May
you.
22nd of 2019 at 10:10. It's the one I referred to before. May 22nd of 2019 at 10:10 a.m.
The judge just needs to see it. That's all I asked.
Okay,
He just needs to know what page
There you go.
number it is. I think it's up one more, but I'm not sure. Here's page 4, Judge.
Okay. I'm trying, is it farther up?
May 22nd of 19, 10:10 a.m. She says, hey, Donna,
February
you have
13th,
all the items.
page 4? Here's page
Is it on
4.
page
Am I on the right?
Here.
You're in the right
No.
place. I think you may have been led to the
Oh,
wrong
no,
place.
David. May 22nd. It's
Okay.
not page 4, May 22nd.
There are page numbers on the bottom of every page,
Yes, I'm gonna
okay?
look at it right now.
The judge, okay.
This is February. This is fair. it was March. March 22nd. Do you have that one? March 22nd?
You said May.
Oh, no, I'm sorry.
Okay.
May 22nd. I'm looking for a page number, but it's on May 22nd. 522.
These are all messed up.
Here we go. Here it is right here. What page number is this? 8. Does that have a page number?
No.
No, I found it, but there's not a page number, but I did find it.
That's all right.
I did find it.
Judge, it's on page 8.
Yeah, okay.
I'm
Is it
told by my
page 8?
legal assistant, who also happens to be my lawyer.
Okay, this is the response. Hi, Donna. Hey, Donna, we saw all that on the pricing. Okay, here, earlier there was confusion about who first told who, how much is worth. Here's the text message, okay, Mrs. Thompson?
Yes.
Yes, yes, Judge.
Okay, go ahead. Ms.
Where
Thompson?
do I state in this text message that the value is actually $20,000, Ms. Conklin?
Well, you said, however, if this is collectively worth 20,000, we would be lucky. I understand that. Most of it is just regular home decorations.
Where did I say that these items were valued definitively at $20,000?
Mrs. Thompson, the
Yes.
text speaks for itself. It says what it says.
Give me an
It's right
estimate.
there in front of you. It says what it
Thank you.
says and it's right there in front of you.
Right.
Okay, I would like to reference text on 6/25/2019. This is on page 7.
Okay,
From Donna at 3:13 p.m. We're having to put refrigerated air in the house to sell it, and my family is expecting me to come up with the money from all the
Right.
furniture and art. Please let me know why much longer it will take. My
Any
response
questions?
to you, Ms. Conklin, was there, saying that we can try to arrange a sale of a few pieces of value, and then you've got to decide what you want to do with the novelty items. After that,
is this right? Okay, this is here, okay. In your
Yes,
question,
sir.
that response was on the 25th. I apologize, at 4:31.
okay,
I am getting to my question in just a second. I have to reference some more messages. One moment, please.
I'm just curious.
Okay, on June 26th, page 6. Do you see that we're again asking for more receipts to value the furniture? 12:12 a.m. where I
This is
say
page
if you have
6.
more
Just a minute,
receipts-
Ms. Thompson, let me find the
Okay.
email. It goes a lot smoother to identify what we're, this is page
My
6.
apologies. June 26, 12:12 a.m.
Okay, this is page 6, 12, right here. Okay, go ahead.
Okay. Do you see where we're asking again for more receipts?
Where? What? Identify the email, the text.
12:12 a.m. It's at the bottom of the page.
Right here, it's on the screen. Please refer to the screen.
Oh, I'm sorry, Judge. Okay, what do you mean by refer to the screen?
Is this the email where can you see my cursor?
Yes, that's what I'm talking
Is
about
this
right
the
now.
email you're talking about? Okay.
Yes, it is. I'm sorry, I'm
If
looking
you
at.
have more receipts, we need to see them. Make sure that you have valuing things properly. We don't have one for the desk. Okay, what is your question?
My question is if she acknowledges that we're still asking for more receipts in June of 2019.
No, you were talking about the desk that you wanted to keep, not the items.
Okay, Ms. Thompson, next question.
Okay,
Yeah, you're talking about the desk.
Okay, thank
Which
you,
we
Ms.
had a
Conklin.
reserve.
Wait for the next question, Ms. Conklin.
Okay.
one moment, please, Your Honor.
She's looking to get an optional completeness issue on 2/13/20, which is on page 5 at the top. Because I think this is important. My client says, it's up in the green, very top, Judge. There you go. We gave all paperwork and catalogs we found, and she's already testified to that. So if Ms. Thompson's going to continue on this line of questioning, I mean, she's already testified, and there it is in the evidence. She gave him everything she had. These were the experts, supposedly.
Go ahead, Ms. Thompson.
Okay. All right. At any time were our rights to sell any of the property ever rescinded?
I'm sorry, I didn't understand that question.
At any time from February 2019 until now, was our right to sell any of these items ever rescinded?
Well, after we filed the lawsuit in January, yes. Because that's when we filed the lawsuit.
I need to see that. I haven't seen that at all.
Okay, Ms. Thompson, there's your answer. If you don't,
There's a lot.
what is your question? What is your next
did it
question?
My
last month.
question is,
Ms.
my
Conklin,
question,
stop.
Your Honor, is if at any time she told me that I was
He's saying
unable
it
now
was-
to sell the items.
He's saying it was rescinded by service of the lawsuit. Now, your next question.
I didn't hear you, Judge. I'm sorry.
He said it was rescinded by the virtue of filing the lawsuit.
Yes.
One moment, please.
Your Honor, rescission was not requested in the amended petition. I'm sorry, I can't resist. I mean, I guess if there was a rescission, it was when I made formal demand for the return of the property this month. But I don't think we've ever rescinded her right or obligation, I should say, to try to sell this property.
Okay. Go ahead, Ms. Thompson.
Okay. So, Ms. Conklin, did you refuse to accept payment for the death and the Nefertiti and instead demanded that everything be returned to you?
You never offered payment. How could I refuse something you never offered? We agreed on a price and you never
Ms.
paid.
Conklin, just answer the question
Okay,
and stop.
no,
One moment, please, Your Honor. I'm looking for an email. One moment, please. Well, there's a series of emails. I apologize. One moment, please.
Ms. Thompson, we're gonna have to move this along.
Okay, I'm looking. Because I do want to admit this as evidence. Okay, I offered to pay you the $1,700 and I received an email
Okay, Ms.
saying that you wanted everything back. It's dated,
Ms. Thompson,
yes,
okay. Do you have any other questions? You can testify. You can be a witness.
okay.
Have any other questions of Ms. Conklin? She's answered your question. Now, do you have any other questions of Ms. Conklin?
Yes, she
What is
said
the other
that
question?
my question is, does she have an itemized list for this last bit that she's saying was worth $4,600? Because I asked for that and it was not turned over.
You have a list? What?
I have a list of
Ms.
all the
Conklin, wait,
damage.
let's find out what the question is first.
Okay,
What is the question? Do you have a list
My
of,
question is,
where's that stuff, Virginia, right here?
on July 21st, I received an email from Judge Leverton saying that Donna was willing to settle the matter, resolve the matter in its
Objection,
entirety in
Your Honor.
exchange for payment of
Relevance,
$4,600.
settlement, ma'am,
Mrs.
settlement
Mrs.
negotiations.
Thompson? Just ask a question. You'll have an opportunity to testify. What is the,
Okay, how, Ms. Conklin, how are you justifying this $4,600?
All the broken items. And also the desk and the Nefertiti that wasn't paid for.
That's
All
not
the
Did you
including the,
damaged
itemize
wait,
items.
these costs?
Hank, that's not including the $4,600. She's asking, is that your estimate of the diminution in value, the 4,600, Donna?
Yes, it was greater than that, but yes, I thought that
Okay,
was,
that's enough.
yes.
next question, Ms.
Many items are
Thompson.
damaged.
Was I ever provided with an itemized list of these damages?
You saw them when we were walking out of the house and took photos.
Ms.
of
Thompson,
missing
was she
drawers and
provided
damages.
with a listing of the damages? Just answer the question.
She was
No.
not, Your Honor.
No, okay,
was
go
not.
ahead, Ms. Thompson.
Okay, I do not have any further questions at this time, Your Honor.
Okay.
Okay, Mr. Leverton? You have any
One
other,
last question.
go ahead.
No, we rest.
Okay. Ms. Thompson, would you, do you
Yes.
have a witness or would you want to testify?
I'm sorry?
Do you have a witness or would you like to testify?
I'll testify first and then may I call witnesses after that?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, perfect. So first I would like to say that we did not approach Donna to help her sell these items. She actually asked us if we would be able to do that. We came and we looked at the items that she had, and we told her that we did think that many of the items were just novelty and that perhaps we'd be able to sell them in a group with the more valuable items in order to be able to move them. We did tell her at that time, because she told us that she had access to the receipts and to the catalogs, that it would be based on those numbers. Over the next almost 6 weeks, we attempted to find the prices of these items through actually attempting to call the stores where we did have catalogs from. And we're actually in one of the text messages, I'll have to find it. I asked for the name of the store where some of these items were procured from. The store is no longer in existence. So I was telling her throughout this time that we're having a very hard time being able to justify pricing on any of these items. There came a point where we actually had an event scheduled at a center called Power at the Pass, where we were going to take all of the items and get the community out there to purchase it. But then COVID hit and we were unable to do that. We have been going back and forth for the past few months trying to get this settled. And at the point that she did agree to come pick up the items, we videoed everything. We have proof of all of the drawers being taken out of the house, all of the items. We have photos of an itemized inventory of all of the items that we took from the house. So that can be matched against what inventory I actually sent to Judge Leverton once we returned everything. All of those things will match up. In addition to that, one of the last emails that I received that I mentioned before was where Ms. Conklin was saying that she wanted $4,600 for the items. And I told her that may be amenable, but I need to know, number one, which items she is claiming are missing, and an itemized list of what she's saying these damages are coming from. And I was not given that information. Lastly, I do want to say that we took these items in good faith, that she was going to provide us with the receipts and the catalogs that she said she was going to. That did not come. We were given one envelope with letters, with a postcard type material, thanking whoever it was who bought the item. There were notes in there for items that we didn't even have in our possession, showing prices for some other things. But it is our contention that this whole time we've been asking her for pricing, and we've been attempting to find the pricing on our own in order to get these things sold. We were able to sell a mask and a bust on the marketplace. And because our right to sell was never rescinded, we did sell the desk and the Nefertiti statue. After we offered to give it to her for the $1,700 that we offered initially in the beginning. We did sell it for $1,700, and I have the receipt to document that. We had multiple conversations in person at El Paso Day Surgery, where I did tell her that some of these things were damaged. And so she was aware of the damages. And also when she came to the house to pick the items up a week or so ago, I told her, you know, that we had spoken about this in person and that these items were damaged. And she said, really? And I said, yes, we did. So at that point, she acknowledged the conversation, but said she had no recollection. So I do really want to get this settled. However, I am asking for some itemized costs so that I know exactly where it is that we stand.
Anything further?
Nothing further from me. I do have witnesses.
Mr. Leverton, do you have any questions of Mrs.
I have a
Thompson?
few. Let me ask you this, Ms. Thompson, since you're an expert at this sort of thing, you're saying that my client didn't give you all the receipts and the catalog information you wanted. Now, you admit, though, that she told you late on that she'd given you everything she had, correct?
I never claimed to be an expert, so I need to say that.
I didn't ask you that. I asked you, do you admit that she told you she'd given you everything that she had?
Eventually, yes.
Okay. Why in the world do you think that somebody would have all of that information that you were requesting? Why would they turn it over to a third party to sell for 40% of the action? Does that make any sense to you?
I don't understand your question.
All right, I'll just leave it alone then. Now let's talk about this let's talk about the side deal. On July the 8th, you emailed me and you said, we want the desk and the Nefertiti because we already agreed on it and placed them into our home furnishings. Texas is a contract state. The judge is going to let us keep them. You wrote that to me this month on July the 8th, giving me the impression, now I don't know, that you had it in your possession, correct?
I did send that email, yes.
You had it, did you have it in your possession on July the 8th?
Yes,
And then you sold it to somebody subsequent. This is after we had agreed for her to come and pick up the property at your house on the 18th, correct?
yes.
So sometime between the 8th and the 18th, you breached that part of the contract by selling this property to a third party that you'd already agreed to pay my client $1,700 for, correct?
My ability to sell was never rescinded. I did not breach a contract.
Oh, come on, Judge, objection. She's making a legal conclusion. It's also an incorrect statement of the law.
Well, go ahead. I understand what was.
I understand. You didn't live up to that deal, did you, Ms. Thompson? And please don't say that you feel like you had the right to go around it when you had told my client you'd pay her $1,700. Just answer that question. I'll leave it alone, Judge.
What's the question?
That's all right. You haven't paid my client anything for any of the property you took, have you?
No, I have not.
And you had it for close to 2.5 years, didn't you?
Yes,
And there was back and forth about people. Donna asked you to have the property back several times. And I think you may have offered to give it back. I don't really remember. But in the final analysis, at the end of these emails, the judge is going to see or text that you said, we're going to keep all of the property and we're going to put it on the marketplace. This was in October of 2020, correct?
that is correct.
All right. Did the people who went to pick up the property at the first time, I believe you had several young ladies with you, if I'm not mistaken. It's my understanding they took a lot of pictures, correct? When you picked up the property at Donna's house, did you take a lot of pictures?
Mr. Leverton, the screen froze. Can you just state the question again?
It's my understanding that a lot of pictures were taken by your folks who went to pick up the property at Donna's house back in 2019. Is that correct?
The pictures were taken once we got the items to the estate for inventory. Yes,
They were not taken at Donna's house. That's your sworn testimony.
yes.
Okay.
So you were taken at Donna's house or not?
They were not taken at Donna's house.
Okay.
All right.
You did? I apologize. My witness is saying that we did have pictures from Donna's house. I'll
Yeah, I
have to
just
let
wanted
them
to-
testify to that.
That's okay. I just wanted to know if you brought you made a big deal about Donna's pictures. Did you bring anything for the judge to view?
We have a picture from
This
Donna's
is my
house.
last question, Judge.
Well,
You had
listen,
my client's
you-
property for over 2.5 years. You
Mr.
failed to
Levinson, wait,
pay.
one second. Do you have any pictures to present, Ms. Thompson?
One moment, please. I'm talking to my witnesses to see what they have.
The question is to you, Mrs. Thompson. It's not to your witness.
I do
It's,
not.
Do you have any? Okay, let's go ahead.
Judge, I had a lot more, but this is the last question, mercifully, for everybody probably. Ma'am, you had my client's property for over 2.5 years, well, close to 2.5 years. You failed to pay the $1,700 for the desk on the side deal. You failed to make, from what I can tell, any diligent attempts to sell the property as agreed. Failed to return the property to my client when she asked you to do so beginning in early 2020. That's almost 1.5 years ago. And now you want my client to pay you rent?
Is that the question? The answer is yes.
Pass the witness, Your Honor, and we rest. Well, she may want to respond.
Ms. Thompson,
Yes, Your Honor.
anything you'd like to state or call your next witness? Ms. Thompson?
I'll
Which
call
one?
my witness.
Okay,
Okay,
we do
go ahead.
rest. In that case, Your Honor, we rest.
Okay.
Okay, the first witness will be Vernique Seibert. Can you see her?
Okay, yes.
Yes,
Okay, Ms. Seibert, were you present with me when we went to Ms. Conklin's house to pick up the items in question? You have to speak louder. What was the condition of the items as you saw them?
Some of the items, they came to us damaged.
Can you describe the damage, please?
There were nicks in some of the like wooden statues and stuff like that. Nicks, like little carvings and stuff in the sides of them. Let's see, on the furniture, the 10-piece furniture set, things were already starting to peel and fall apart, including the figures that were on the furniture and the gold lining around the furniture. Those are the main things that I can think of.
Okay. To your recollection, were the receipts, can you describe what was in the envelope that you were given, that you were told had the receipts for the items?
Yes, there was a thank you note inside of the envelope, which was, I guess, to the purchaser of whatever the item was.
objection, Your Honor, speculation and hearsay.
Okay, don't state it unless you know, unless it states on the document itself or whatever you call, what you suspect it is or what you speculate that it is.
Okay.
Right.
It was a thank you note inside of the envelope. There were receipts, just a couple. And that's all I recall from the envelope.
Okay, can you give a brief summary of the steps you took to try to evaluate the items?
Yes. Okay. So several of the items actually, Donna told us that they were from like different countries all over the world from her father's travel. So we began searching places that weren't located inside of the United States. That's actually where the start of our search began. So we were looking for sellers outside of the United States for the Asian properties, Asian countries, and for the African stuff, obviously in Africa. Then once we started to drill down and do reverse image searches and stuff like that for the inventory, that's when we started to realize that a lot of these items were actually from American manufacturers.
Objection,
And
Your
they
Honor, foundation.
Excuse me?
you're stating a conclusion. I mean, unless you state, you know, your qualifications on how you determine this from other sources. You're gonna have to testify to how do you determine that, not just make a conclusionary statement that.
From the branding inside of the inventory. They were,
The branding inside of the inventory.
yeah, there's labels inside of the inventory. Or yeah, the makers are inside of the
The object?
sorry?
The manufacturer, the label on the object?
Yes, inside, like, so for instance, the furniture, the manufacturer was actually inside of some of those items.
Okay, I don't. Go ahead.
Do you have any more on how you evaluated the items or attempted to?
So we did a lot of searches on eBay. Also, once we found what we thought was one of the items from the Asian inventory, we looked on the same website to look for more items like that. We also reached out to someone that we know that's well-versed inside of African, I'm trying to figure out the word. But basically this person is familiar with African history, inventory, stuff like that. So we reached out to them as well.
To your knowledge, were all of the items returned?
Yes, they
Okay.
were.
Thank you, Your Honor. I'd like to bring my next witness.
Mr. Leviton, do you have any questions, Ms. Seibert?
No questions, Your Honor.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, this is Sagrario Maria Flores. May you please for the court state the condition of the items as you saw them in Miss Conklin's father's home?
Many looked very weathered, chipped, just not in good condition. A lot of them were not in good condition. Some of them were peeling.
Okay. Were many of these items in areas that were overrun with dirt and dust?
Yes, actually the whole house was overrun with dust and dirt. Yeah.
And once receiving the items in our possession, did you clean them off before taking the photos in order to evaluate them later?
Yes, we did.
Okay. What attempts did you make on your part to find values for these items?
Well, first thing that I did was I waited for those receipts because I remember her telling me herself that she was going to get more receipts to me. That's a statement that was made to me directly.
Listen to the question. The question is, what did you do? It's not, waiting is not
Okay.
something.
Well, I waited for more receipts because I didn't want to put too much work and effort into items that were told to me that were authentic.
Again, the question is, what did you do?
Okay. I looked online. I did some reverse imagery with my phone, trying to find some of the items. They were very difficult to find. And then some of the ones that I did find, there were items that were sold at like Marshalls or stores like that. I realized that a lot of those items, once I turned them, that a lot of these items were actually made in China.
Objection, Your Honor. That's hearsay and also lacks foundation.
Go ahead.
At any time, did Ms. Conklin tell you that she had more receipts to give you?
She did.
To your knowledge, were all of the items in question returned to Ms. Conklin?
To my knowledge, yes.
Is there anything else you want to tell the court about this case?
No, I don't have anything else. Not that I could think of right now, no.
Okay, that's all that I have for these witnesses, Your Honor.
Mr. Leverton, do you have any questions?
Yes, sir. Ma'am, you said that some of the property that you reviewed that day had some damage. Is that correct?
Yes.
Did you point that out to Ms. Thompson?
Yes,
Did she
It
take
was
the
very
property in? Did she take the property anyway?
Yes, if we took the property.
yes,
Thank you. No further questions.
Ms. Thompson?
Your Honor, I do, if I may have, there was an item in question that I heard Donna speaking about when she came to pick up the items, saying that one of them was weathered with some water damage. I do actually have a picture of that item with the time and date stamp that we inventoried it as an example to show the condition that we actually received this in. Is there a way that I can send that to you, or is?
What is the item?
One moment, let me pull it up. It's a statue that, or it's a bust, I guess. It's about 3 or 4 feet tall. It's from the waist up, and it looks to be a man holding a rod in his hand and with the long earrings.
Okay,
I don't know how else to
Conklin,
describe it, but I do have the
Ms.
file that I
Conklin,
can send you.
just a minute, just a minute.
Okay,
Conklin, do you know what item she's talking about from that description? You need to unmute yourself.
Okay, not the particular item, but Judge, I do have items here.
I'm not going into other things. We're just trying to identify. Okay, she can't identify that item from your description. Do you have a better description of it?
no, dark wood, looks to be a man. No, am I able to send the photo?
What is the relevance? What are we trying to show with this photograph?
The relevance is that she's claiming that a lot of these items were damaged, but I have photos from when we
Okay, a lot of the
inventoried them.
items is different than that item. Did she claim that item was damaged?
I'm
Did she claim
sorry.
that item was damaged?
Judge, if
The
I
phone-
may, I sent Ms. Thompson our exhibits a long time ago. And I've tried to keep her posted on where things were happening from my perspective to try to introduce evidence that I haven't even had a chance to see at this time. Seems to be a bit on the late side.
Okay, first, thank you, Mr. Leverton. Okay, Ms. Thompson, has she stated that that item was damaged?
She stated it to the other woman who was on this call. I don't remember her name. I apologize. While they were at the house.
I don't recall that at all.
At your house?
Yes, when they came to pick up the items.
Okay. And so the relevance is she claimed it was damaged and you're wanting to show a photo that it wasn't damaged.
I'm saying that it was in the same condition when she picked it up as when I got it. Yes.
Okay. And the picture that you have is taken when you picked up the item. Is that correct?
Yes, it's got a time and date stamp and everything on there.
Okay. Is there, Mrs. Conklin, is there a wooden bust statue that you claim was damaged?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. And what was the damage?
It looked like it had been left out in the rain and the wood was cracked.
Okay. And what does your photograph show, Mrs. Thompson?
That there are spots on it, that there was a crack already in it with a time and date stamp of when it was taken.
Okay.
These items were in the house,
As an
Your Honor.
example of her saying that there were things that were
Just a minute.
damaged. that
I
did.
can't hear both of you. One at a time. And Ms. Conklin,
All of the items she removed were inside
Okay.
the house and were not damaged. They were not. Also, Your Honor, may I say one thing, Your Honor?
not
May I
at
say
this
one
point.
thing, Your Honor?
Not at this point. Okay, Mrs. Thompson, do you have a digital image of the photograph?
I do.
Okay, can you email it immediately? We're going to take a
Yes.
look at the photograph. I mean, this is the last thing I'm going to consider, and I'm going to issue a judgment.
Okay. Where am I sending it to, Judge?
JP1 El Paso County written out at gmail.com.
JP1 El Paso County at gmail.com.
Yes.
Okay,
The only
Your Honor,
thing,
just so you know, we do have a third-party rebuttal witness, but I take it we've run out of time. Is that correct?
well, yeah, yes,
That's all right.
we're going to go over this
Just so you'll
photograph.
know, we do have a rebuttal witness on the condition. Ms. White was there both when it was picked up and she's seen it since it's been returned.
Okay, well, I'll allow him to comment on this one item.
I just sent the email, Your Honor.
Okay, so we're going to take a look at this photo. I haven't received it yet. Okay, here it is. Photograph. Okay, now, Mrs. Conklin, what was the damage that you saw on the item?
There was rain spots and the wood was completely cracked. And I have the item right here.
Okay, okay, let me just bring this up.
Desk, the furniture.
1 second.
All messed up.
She's talking about one item, but there was many.
There was many items.
I know.
We're just taking up this one item right now. That's all.
Okay.
I thought I had it. 1 second. Here we go. What I'm doing wrong. 1 second. I'm sorry.
I didn't look at the picture of the item in the house. That was the before, in the pictures.
Which item?
Did you see that?
Yes,
Okay. Mrs. Conklin, does this, okay, Mrs. Thompson, what damage you're referring to?
I don't,
That one is.
Sorry, Judge, what did you say?
Ms. Thompson,
Yeah,
what is the damage?
okay, where,
I don't have.
What is it?
People are
the
talking, I
damage?
can't hear you.
Mrs. Thompson, what is the damage you're referring to that was present when you picked it up?
Everything that you see there. So on the left side, bring your cursor back to the left side. Yeah, those are the spots there. There's a large crack running close to where your cursor is as well.
There's a
And
crack
those are
here?
things that were, yes, the spots there, the crack there. And
Is
those
this-
are the conditions that we actually received it in.
no,
Okay, and Mrs. I'm sorry, Conklin, what is the damage that you received it in?
I received it with spots. I have the item here and the wood is cracked. That is not how she took it. I have pictures of the before
Okay,
pictures.
Mrs. Conklin, is this a picture, is this at your house or where is this at? Where's this picture taken?
No,
That's
that
at
is
my
at
house,
Janelle's
Your Honor.
house.
Like, when was this picture taken?
The night that we received the items.
No,
So this
Well,
is a picture taken
February 18, 2019 is when that was taken, 12:33 a.m.
at your house?
Yes,
Okay, so this is, you didn't take a picture of the items when you decided you wanted the item?
no, we just took well, my witnesses are saying that, yes, we did, but I do not have that in my possession, so I cannot show it to you.
Okay, we're gonna stop it.
yeah,
Okay,
that's not.
anything further?
I don't have anything further, Your Honor.
Mr. Leverton, anything further? Mr. Leverton, you're muted.
I got it. I would call Ms. White to testify as to the condition of all the property before and after as a general. But I've got a funny feeling you've got a handle on
Yeah,
the
but I-
case. Do you need to
Yes.
hear from her?
No, I don't. My judgment is for the plaintiff in the amount of $6,000 plus court.
Thank you, Your Honor. Do you prepare the judgment or do you want me to?
I'll prepare a judgment. I assume on your pleadings, I have emails?
Yes, sir. On mine, yes.
Mrs. Thompson, do I have your email on your pleadings?
Do you have my email?
Just a minute, I'll find out. On your answer, let me see.
Garza has them because I copy her on everything.
What, Miss Thompson, you just sent us an email, correct, for the photograph?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
so I have your email. Okay, I will email you both a copy of the judgment.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you all.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
That be excused.
Yes, thank you all. I'm going to end the
Thank
meeting.
you.
Thank you, sir.